Welcome back to the Metronome Madness League. We are with game number 2 between the Unbridled Nightmares and Charming Charmeleons. The Charmeleons came away with the win in the first match. If they win here tonight, they will move on to round number 2, while the Nightmares need to force a game number 3. We'll see if that will happen. Charmander starting things off for the Charmeleons with a waterfall. Against the Mudkip won't be very effective, so not the greatest start. Mudkip barely taking any damage. Here comes the shiny Charmeleon, the Charmander. It's gonna go ahead with a Play Nice. Play Nice, of course, gonna lower the attack of the regular Mudkip. That can come in handy for certain. Regular Mudkip gonna start things off with a Flame Charge. Both sides using not very effective elemental moves of the same type. It's interesting. Oh my goodness. So barely effective against that Charmander. Here comes the Spatial Wren, though. Strongest move we've seen so far tonight. That's going up against the regular Charmander, doing a decent amount of damage, almost at half health. And there goes our first round of attacks here. There goes the regular Mudkip. It's gonna go ahead and go first now with a defend order. Setting up, trying to stay out on the field. See if it can. It's gonna raise all its defenses. Shiny Charmander now. And as it goes for a Fury Swipes, not the strongest of moves. How many times can it hit though? Even if it hits 5, that's not gonna do a lot. Hits 4, and it does hit 5. That still not a lot of damage, especially with the defensive buff that Mudkip received earlier. And then this Charmander uses Synthesis. Not a bad time to use it. Usually you want to wait a little bit longer to see if you take more damage, but Charmander does heal itself back up to full health. Preparing for the rest of the battle. Here comes the Slam from the shiny Mudkip against that same Charmander. Puts it right back where it was before. Oh my. Now Charmander, glad it used Synthesis right there. And Mudkip going first again. It's gonna go for a Noble Roar. The noblest of roars coming from that Mudkip. It's gonna lower the attack stats, both special and regular, of the regular Charmander. Shiny Charmander now with the Kinesis, lowering accuracy. A lot of stat lowering going back and forth between these Pokemon. Of course, the Kinesis will only lower one person's accuracy, and that's gonna be the shiny Mudkip. His regular Charmander goes for that power-up punch. It did receive an attack drop, so it's gonna raise that attack stat right back up. Not a bad idea, while dealing a little bit of damage to Mudkip. Here comes the Gravity. Moves like Bounce and Fly will no longer work while Gravity is in effect. And here we go. Regular Mudkip goes for that No Retreat. There you go. Gonna raise all its stats. Sacrificing a switch out, which doesn't often happen in these battles. So very good idea from the Nightmares. Every stat gets a buff. Regular Charmander gonna go for a Volt Tackle. That will be super effective. It's against the Mudkip. Oh, you have to imagine that stat buff really helped it. It is on about a quarter of HP. Quarter of his total HP, I should say. Shiny Charmander now with the Acid Spray. That does a bit of damage to the shiny Mudkip, lowering its special defense. Gotta watch out for special moves now. Here comes the shiny Mudkip for its own attack. Goes for Stuffed Cheeks, no berries. That will not work. The Charmeleons trying to get a handle in this battle. It hasn't gone either way so far. A really tough battle for both of these teams. There goes the Leaf Tornado against regular Charmander. It's approaching the danger zone now as it loses some accuracy from that. It's gonna try to attack on its own. It goes for a Fail Stinger. That does land. If it can faint, the Pokemon will get an attack buff. It doesn't. It puts Mudkip in the danger zone though. And no attack buff for it. There goes the shiny Charmander now with the Lunar Dance. It's going to make itself faint. That is going to fail as well because no other Pokemon has taken damage. So the Charmeleons essentially just sacrificed a Pokemon for nothing. Here we go. There's the shiny Mudkip with the Guard Split. Splitting the guard between it and the Charmander. As the Charmeleons send out their Charmeleon. Hopefully it can do better. No mistakes like the Lunar Dance. Otherwise, this battle will quickly be over and the Nightmares will force a game 3. Here comes Mudkip now. Goes for a Discharge. Discharge, of course, going to hit everyone on the field. That will make Charmander faint, but it also knocks out his partner. The shiny Mudkip goes down, and he gets a paralysis on that Charmeleon. One attack, doing everything. Now there's 2 Pokemon down on the Charmeleons, 1 Pokemon down on the Nightmares. Goes to Triple Axle. Not very effective, not doing a lot of damage. Hits 3 times though. Mudkip's still in the danger zone. That Discharge was not worth it, considering that Mudkip's gonna faint fairly soon. There goes the Charizard. Charmeleons down to their last Pokemon already. Here comes the Ivysaur for the Nightmares. Charizard, fastest on the field, gonna go first. If it attacks that Ivysaur, it could be bad. There goes a Bow Strike. Bow Strike's on the Mudkip, super effective. Overkill. Mudkip goes down. Not necessary at all from that Charizard, but I gather the Charmeleons were a bit upset after that Lunar Dance. Here comes the Fire Spin. Not very effective, but you know, you're never mad at the residual damage. We always mention that whenever those moves go out. And here we go. Here comes the Amnesia. Charmeleon. Raising its stats up. Special defense. Could help it against those water type moves, but it's gonna have to get rid of that Fire Spin if it wants to survive for any considerable amount of time. Here comes the Venusaur. Venusaur now on the field. Last Pokemon for both these teams. Charmander's at a slight disadvantage with the paralysis and the amount of health that the Charmeleon has lost, but it's not over yet. A Mystical Fire, that stab, and super effective, is against the Ivysaur all the way down to 7 HP. Ivysaur also loses some of his special attack. Great move by the Charmeleons. There goes the Defog from the Venusaur. Defog going to lower Charmeleon's evasiveness. Make sure it can get hit by some moves. There goes the Fell Stinger, this time from the Nightmares. Of course, not very effective, doesn't do a lot of damage. Not even close to knocking the Charmeleon out. Charmeleon taking more damage from that Fire Spin though. Here we go, Charizard now, starting things off again. Will it use another super effective move? No, it uses Reflect type, interesting. It's gonna turn itself into a grass type. I have to remember that. And that could change the tide of the battle. Here comes the Spikes. That is a waste, as there are no other Pokemon that will hit the field, so the Spikes will not come into effect. Bad timing for that move. Here comes the Ivysaur now with an Infestation. And is doubling up on the Charmeleon, so Charmeleon will get hit by the Fire Spin, is paralyzed, and it will get hit by the Infestation. My God. That Ivysaur really has it out for the Charmeleon, and it's doing the best. I just noticed this is just like a battle between the Gen 1 starters. Here comes the Circle Throw. It's against Ivysaur. Ivysaur finally goes down. That will release the Charmeleon from all of the trap moves that Ivysaur used on it. So it might have a few more turns left. Here comes a Bug Buzz, though, from the Venusaur. Now that is against the Charmeleon. It's in the danger zone. Will it be able to attack this turn is the question. It does. Breaks through the paralysis. And it goes for a Shell Smash. Setting up. Trying to just get itself enough strength to do some real damage to this Venusaur. Here we go. Last few turns of the match, it seems, as the Charizard starts things off with a Blizzard. Oh, it's avoided. That could have been huge. The Venusaur avoids the super effective ice type move. It goes for a strength of its own. It's against the Charmeleon. Charmeleon goes down. And it is Venusaur versus Charizard. They're both at full health. It's anyone's match. Charizard goes for the tackle. Tackle doing all but like just a little bit of damage. Almost nothing. Here comes a stab seed bomb, but it is 4 times resisted by that Charizard, so that does pretty much nothing. Chipping away at each other, trading blows. Here comes the Charizard now. Goes for the poison jab. Neutral move. Does a decent amount of damage to the Venusaur, approaching halfway. Venusaur now with the Fell Sting. The 3rd time we've seen Fell Stinger. That's also resisted. Not gonna do a lot of damage. They really like that move tonight. Charizard goes for the X Scissor. Oh, that's going to be a huge attack. It does a lot of damage. Venusaur below half health now, about 1/3 of its health left. There goes a Flare Blitz. Another not very effective move from the Nightmares, but it's a strong one. Oh my gosh! That's right, Charizard made itself a grass type Pokemon. So that was super effective. They're both in the danger zone. Venusaur hit by the recoil. It is down to the wire. Anyone's match. Charizard. Will it be his last attack? Goes for a Stone Age. The Stone Age. I can't talk. Here comes the Stone Age. Venusaur goes down. The winners is the Charmeleons. They will move on to round number 2. What an exciting match between these two teams. Oh my goodness. Came down all the way to the wire. These playoff matches are the best. Well, so we'll see the Charmeleons move on. They'll be playing against the winner between the Shadow Squad and the Eevee Hearts. They have one more game left, as there was a game 3 forced between the two. So we'll see who wins that. And then we'll be moving on to round number 2. Special thanks to our patrons for supporting the channel. If you want to become a patron, you can follow the link in the description below, as well as a link for our Discord. We'll be glad to have you be a part of our community, where you can post memes, talk about the battles, and whatever else you like to talk about. We're a welcoming community. With that being said, thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you next time.